Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Patrick Precourt here. Great to have you guys back. Well, it's actually me who's back, right? Because I wasn't here last week, but I did miss you all. So excited to be here. Got another great presentation for you. So this one that we're going to talk about today has a lot to do with feedback I've gotten over the last couple weeks, okay? And I was away this past week at a mastermind that I facilitate, that I host. And kind of funny because the same issues, the same challenges came up at this mastermind, and I want to shed a little light and maybe add a little solution to it, right? And here's how it comes up, right? First, it comes up. There's a few different symptoms, but kind of the same causation, you know. One is I'm in a rut, I'm stuck. Number two, I just can't get started. Three, I feel like I'm paddling so hard upstream and I can't make any progress. Four, I get to do so much every week, but no notable progress. These are all the same symptoms, right? I've been at it for so long and I got nothing to show for it. Or, last one is, you know, if I could, two more, if I could just do this, then it would open up my world to where I got to go. And then the last final one is fighting, clawing, scratching. I just try to get to the next level. And that all the time. Next level. So, I want to address it in a way that, A, empowers us to do something about it so you can leave here today, now, start getting different results. And B, and this is the beginning of empowerment, is putting the responsibility back on us to actually do something about it, right? It's kind of funny. You can't have one without the other. You can't be like, not my fault, not it, not me, and then still want the power to do something about it. Because the truth is, if you have the power and it ain't happening, then it is on you. It is your responsibility. So we'll begin the conversation in this space. Let me open up a couple boxes here. One of them being your question box. And of course, I encourage you all to talk to me. And the question box is right there. So when I look up, like when I look away from you, that just means I'm looking up to the question box. Good morning, Daniel. I encourage you all to talk to me. That makes this a dialogue, not just a monologue. That way we can communicate. Can you say the word? Communicate back and forth. You want to know the number one flaw in communication, the number one mistake in all communication? Without communication, you got nothing, by the way. Number one mistake in all communication is the belief that one actually happened. What I mean by that is you say something and you believe that you communicated and that what you said was received by the person you were saying it to in the context that you said it. And oftentimes it's just not the case. And it has to do with the fact that sometimes we say things with the wrong tonality, sometimes we're not clear in our message, or we'll use words that conflict with what we're trying to say, or we're just not clear. That's probably the single biggest one, we're not clear, which means we leave it open to interpretation. That is not communicating, right? I'll make sure I communicate with you today, but I do need your participation, okay? That's how I validate that that ball has been passed and received. You know, in rugby, which was my sport for almost 17 years, one thing was most important in rugby. That was possession of the ball, right? And I analogize the ball and the passing of the ball to your message when communicating. See, in rugby, if I had the ball and I pass it to my mate, if it hit him square in the hands and he dropped it and was on the field again, that was my responsibility to pick that ball up, because that ball has not been passed until he has safely received it. And communicating is no different, right? My message has not been passed until it has been safely received. And in this case, when I'm not looking at you face to face and I can't see your body language, I can't see how you're responding visually to me, your interaction would go a long way. Cool? Cool. Mr. Benjamin says, I'm that guy in a rut and stuck at the moment. Is there such a thing as starting 3 businesses at the same time being effective? We'll talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Ben. Investing in real estate, have a medical sales company, an MLM travel company. all can be lucrative and operating at full throttle. I get it, Ben. I'm not, listen. So the advice I'm going to give to you and to everybody who's asked the same dang question, right? Note that without knowing the details and everything, don't take it as absolute, because partial opinion, partial wisdom, partial what I've learned through, this stuff, right? But my answer is, can you start all three at the same time? An MLM business, medical sales company, and real estate investment? Absolutely, positively not, and without exception, no. No freaking way. Absolutely not. Let me give you a little story here, Ben, okay? And I know this is going to relate to a lot of people, so I'll take the time to answer this right up front. And thank you. It's a great question. Picture walking down the street. I'm going to show you the power of focus, okay? Picture you're walking down the street. Because you start this off, I'm that guy in the rut stuck at the moment. I get that, okay? Picture you're walking down the street, okay? And you see a blue balloon. And blue just happens to be the color that resonates with you. Blue happens to be that color that makes you feel good. You love blue balloons, okay? It works for you, right? So you check out the blue balloon. You're looking over the blue balloon, and it makes you feel good. And sure enough, you see more blue balloons out in front of it. So why wouldn't you? You get what you get back out of life, that what you focus on, what you attract into your life. See, we don't chase it. We attract it into our lives. Right? Life doesn't happen to us. Life happens for us, right? So we're walking down the street and see all these blue balloons all lined up on the left. And the more we see them, the more we go over and we feel them and hug them and have them in our arms and focus on them and feel the joy and happiness, the more balloons keep showing up in our life. Blue balloons, blue balloons, everything we ever wanted, right there. And then one day, as we're just kind of meandering while we get a little distracted, and out of the corner of our right eye, way over here, it catches yellow balloon. And it gets our curiosity, we look away from the blue balloons, and we look out to the yellow balloons. Like, that's interesting, yellow balloon. Got your curiosity because it's something different, unique, special, unlike you're not familiar with. You're like, look at the yellow balloon. And you kind of see you're looking over and you start walking over that direction, just following your eyes. Before you know it, you're like, this is really neat. And it strikes you in a curious kind of way, a cool yellow balloon. But then, of course, now that you're focused on the yellow balloon, you see a couple more, and you're like, wow, those are really bright yellow balloons. Those are kind of neat, too. And now you start focusing on yellow balloons, and more yellow balloons start showing up. And then you look back across, a blue balloon. And you go running back across the street. I love blue. Blue is freaking awesome. Blue is amazing. It feels so good. And just as you're about to hug this blue balloon, you see another yellow balloon. And you run back across the street again. And now, of course, there's fewer and fewer blue balloons, but there's fewer and fewer yellow balloons, too. And you go, and there's another blue balloon, but they're less often, less frequent. They're not quite as blue, and your yellow ones aren't quite as yellow. Then, shows up right smack dab in front of you, a green balloon. And the green balloon is a little confusing to you, because the green balloon didn't do anything very special for you. It didn't make you feel good. It wasn't exciting like the yellow, and it wouldn't have that warm and fuzzy feeling like the blue balloon. You don't even know what to do with it. And now there's more of these green balloons, and more of these green balloons. There's so many that are surrounding you. You feel trapped. You don't even know which direction to go, because there's so many of these green balloons around you, but none of them are meaning anything to you. They're not giving you any direction. There's no drive. There's no passion. You're just in them. So what just happened there, Ben, is you got exactly what you asked for. You said, universe, give me blue and yellow, blue and yellow, and blue and yellow. At this point in the story, I really hope that blue and yellow equal green, by the way. That's a side note. Blue and yellow, blue and yellow, blue and yellow, green. Green shows up in our lives. You get from the universe exactly that which you asked for. When you start chasing three different things randomly with a half-ass effort, you get half-ass results after them. And it's impossible to give 100% effort to any one of those three things when you're giving effort to all the other two. Impossible. Impossible. Chase 3 rabbits, get none. You starve. And you're asking, Ben, knowing the answer. You're sitting there. You know the outcome of this question already. I applaud you for asking. Okay, and I'm getting wound up on this because A, I've been through this before. B, it's probably one of the single greatest things that entrepreneurs get stuck up in, right? And usually, it's because we start out something that's exciting, that blue balloon's exciting to us, but now the hard work kicks in. And instead of chasing down doing the hard work, we get distracted by the yellow balloon because it's exciting to us again. So we forego the hard work for short-term gain, but for long-term pain. The system works the other way. You want to get some heat out of your wood stove? You got to stick the wood in there first. You want to harvest some corn? You got to plant the seeds and fertilize and water them first. You got to do the hard work first. I get chasing an MLM. I get chasing whatever your other one was here, medical something or other. All cool, exciting, fun. But once that stuff wears off, the hard work begins. You can't do all three at once. Ben, I appreciate you sharing that because that's applying to a lot of people listening to right now. Okay, brother? So thank you for that. Ben says, wow, that all sounded like me. You're talking to me. I'm so glad I asked you. I have to decide which one would get me where I want to go. So I'll get you where you want to go. Hell, you can go sell lemonade on the side of the street, dude. That's a thing. Here, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. If we did nothing else, write this down and know this right now, okay? Action trumps education every single time. Pick one thing and go for it. Don't worry about knowing it all or not knowing it all or how big you are or how much you have or what resources you have or don't have. Just go for it. Action will kick the crap out of education every single time. Action gets results. Education is education. Action gets results. You have the most educated person in the world not take action and won't get shit for it. You have a very mildly educated person taking tremendous amount of action and they'll have everything in life they ever asked for. Pick one thing you can stand behind, one thing you're passionate about, one thing you'll brag at the top of your lungs to the world about. You won't care what other people think or say about you because you know where you stand and you're willing to shout that at the top of your lungs. Pick that one. And I guarantee you all three of those don't fit that mold, right? Pick one of them and go for it. Don't worry about, but I don't have enough. Bullshit, you do. The only one thing many or most of us lack at a very continuous everyday basis is taking action. Taking action. Action provides feedback. Action provides direction. Action provides results. Action builds confidence. But Pat, I lack confidence. You know what? Nobody can gift you confidence. You get confidence by taking action, getting results. Confidence is earned. It ain't borrowed. It ain't gifted. Can't fake it. You gotta earn it. But what if I do and then I get knocked down? Guess what? You have a lot more confidence than you do now. I promise you. You say, wow, I can go out, get knocked down, and get back up. It ain't that bad. That's what you'll learn pretty quick. Number one question I ask myself, where am I getting the most support for people who are really in it every day and won't BS myself? So this is a share from Emily on our team here, helping answer that question. And which of the three? Where am I getting the most support from people who really care? They got my back and aren't just BSing me. Great share. Thank you for that, Emily. All right. Now we can get along to our discussion today. Again, thanks for that, Ben. This is why I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to share. Go back and forth, okay? Because my dialogue, which is coming on now, will not be as exciting as the discussion Ben and I just had. And I'm just looking up and just closing some of these. Ben says, you rock, bro. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. So here we go. And this goes down the path of what precedes action, right? Because that's actually, it's kind of funny you mentioned all that, Ben, because this discussion is about action. That was not staged. That was pretty good. Because action trumps everything else. Doing something will beat out everything else every single time. Okay? Want to break a rut? Do something. Just go do something. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about what people think, care, say. And oftentimes you'll do stuff and you'll piss people off because they're not doing anything. And they'll try to find ways to knock you down. Just laugh at those people. They don't matter. All right. So let's start out the discussion. I told you it's got to start from a position of responsibility, meaning that you and I are responsible for what's gotten us here. And then we're going to move into accountability, which accounts for what's going to happen next. So responsibility is everything that's happened up to now. Accountability is us making different decisions to get different results going forward. Accountability is the past. Responsibility is the past. Accountability is the going forward. Fair enough? Start with responsibility. You and I have in our lives everything right now, good and bad, to the exact degree that we deserve it. And in Ben's case, Ben's got a lot of green balloons. Now we know why. Look at green balloons. They don't make any sense to you. You're getting results that you didn't ask for. But you did, just not intentionally, right? So let's start with that, because this is the cool thing about it, right? If we accept that our decisions that we've made collectively over time have gotten us exactly where we are right now, financially, physically, in our relationships, right? Our decisions put us here. So if we accept that, then it gives us control to do something about it, and that starts the step one, consciousness space, meaning becoming conscious to the idea that we're empowered to choose. That's it. We have the power to choose. You say, well, to choose what, Pat? To choose anything. We have the power to choose whether or not you get up in the morning. Power to choose who you hang out with. Power to choose which business you're going to pursue. Power to choose to pursue all three if that's what you wish. But whatever you choose, it's important to know that the outcomes will be a result of our choices. Now, if you've gotten to a point wherever you are, good, bad, or indifferent, that doesn't matter, and you want to get to someplace else, know that the decisions that got you here won't get you there. Which means that we got to start making different decisions in our lives. Now, some of us have certain things in our lives right now that we didn't consciously choose, which may be the truth. Did you know not to choose is also a choice? When you come to an impasse and you don't choose the direction that you're going to go, you've chosen a direction. Because life keeps moving forward with or without your conscious decisions. And that's an important understanding here. Not to choose does not put things on hold. The choice is made without your consent. So something, someone else, some authority, some power, some greater decision maker than you is now controlling your life, not necessarily in the direction you want to go. Right? I see it. If the best you're going to do is make decisions like this, man, then you can't complain about what you got. And when you choose not to make a decision, even when it's a hard decision, decisions will be made without you, right? So that's and really easy way to understand that would be the guy or gal who's got the last second shot that got the ball, and they're afraid to take the shot because they might miss, so they choose not to shoot. Well, guess what? Decision gets made without them. They will miss that shot, whether they chose it or not, whether they chose to go for it or not. Time keeps ticking. We're in motion constantly. We can't stop that, right? So we're either going to be conscious of our choices all the time or choose to be unconscious to them. Fair enough? Now, this goes to part two. Once we're conscious to choice, it's important to direct our daily choices, the hundreds or thousands of them, towards an outcome that we desire, which means we got to decide what it is we want in the first place. And this is where I see so many of us go astray. Now, the same kind of discussion, Ben, you and I just had, right? Our focus on blue got us blue. Our focus on yellow got us yellow. Our constant focus on both got us green, right? What if you don't get clear on what it is you want out of life? That effectively is choosing not to make a choice. Choosing not to get specific with the universe what you want back from it. And therefore, it responds to what you put out. And I'll give you a perfect example, right? And people don't like taking this level of responsibility, but I see people out there on Facebook just throwing out venom every day, bitching, complaining, whining, pointing blame, screaming, calling names, right? And then all of that flows back to them. Put out, get back. Put out, get back. If you think this world is predominantly evil, bad, that's what you'll get back from it. That's what you'll find. That's what you focus on. If you think that people are predominantly good, some bad eggs, but most people mean good, you'll attract that into your life as well. I know some of you are saying it doesn't work that way, and that's fine, because for you, then it won't. This is the tough part about truth, right? So everybody thinks that truth is definitive, that it's black and white, when in fact it isn't. Because you have a truth, and I have a truth. And our truths are based on our interpretation of what is in front of us. And our interpretation is based on our core value system, on our belief system, on all of our past experiences in life. Those filter our interpretation of what's real in front of us. And two people can be at the exact same event, hear the exact same words, watch the exact same people speak them, and have two completely different realities as to what just happened. Now, if all of that, right, if all that adds up to be real, then doesn't it make sense to start focusing on what you want back out of life? To start speaking what you want back out of life? To start choosing where it is you ultimately want to be and where you want to go. Not choosing words like, I'm tired all day long. Well, if you keep telling yourself that, you will be. Change your language. Change the way you see yourself. And maybe do something about it, right? So number one, take responsibility for that. We are who we are, where we are right now. We have everything in life that we deserve. Number two, figure it out. Figure out what it is you want to choose, right? What do you want out of life? Now, I'll give you a little forewarning here, okay? It's important to know the difference between a result and a true outcome. A result is more of a measuring stick, where you check progress. Money, for instance, money is a result. It's never a goal. And I'll use that as an example for you, because I'll describe a person that I know many of them, some of which aren't with us any longer, and they're not much older than I, or wouldn't be much older than I am. They're not 49 years old, right? That they made their whole life. What do you want? They want money. They want achievement. They want to achieve money. You ask them why, they say, oh, it's to take care of my wife and my kids, family, take care of my husband, whatever, right? But they focus on the money. When they focus on the money, ultimately they did get money, do get money, but unfortunately, because that is their primary focus, you make decisions along the way that are focused on achieving that, but foregoing what you really want, which is happiness and freedom. And happiness doesn't come from money. Once you get your basic needs paid for and crap, money doesn't apply towards happiness at all past that point. It's very difficult to be happy and poor, although some people can be, but it's very difficult to be because you're so stressed out about just survival, right? It's very and Happiness is interrupted when you have bill collectors banging on your door. So I understand the role of money there, but once you get past that basic level of, money in, money out, it doesn't apply to happiness anymore. So if your ultimate goal is happiness and freedom, yet you're 54 years old and now we're listening to some dude read your eulogy because you dedicate your whole life to simply making money, but none to your physical well-being, your mental, spiritual well-being. You have a family that's already divorced you, wife walked out on you before you died, and your kids hate you. Nobody's showing up anyways at your deathbed, but you have plenty of money to show for it. But because you didn't take care of your heart or your soul or your relationships or the things that really mattered, you got exactly what you got. You got exactly what you asked for, and you got exactly what you deserve. You say, well, that's not very nice to say, Pat, but it's true. Right? See, we're all in a position, if you're on this call right now, we can make any decisions we want. We can have anything in this world we're meant to have, right? And you can pretty much have it all, just not always all at once. That's the cool thing about it. There's that old saying, can't have your cake and eat it too. Why not? Who said that? I'm saying you can, but oftentimes you just can't have it all at once. So know what you want. Know what you want. Somebody will say, I want to be able to retire early. I don't want to retire early. I don't ever want to stop doing what it is I do, right? But I want more liberty just to travel at will, spread the word to a broader audience, right? That's how money will serve me. Third, and final, and most important, remember, start out by becoming conscious to choice. Second, know what it is you want. See, if you start with what you want, then all your decisions, all your actions will feed to it. If you don't start out with where you want to go, then every decision will pull you off in a different direction. And you'll never get to where it is you thought you wanted or didn't want or didn't know where you wanted. And if you don't know what you want, you're not clear on it, how do you know when you get there anyways? You may blast right by, you're like, oh, that could have been it back there. Third, take action. Take action. Enough of the excuses, enough of standing still. One of the greatest bits of advice I ever got on achieving success, and success has got an elusive definition, but use the definition of steady forward progress towards a known worthy outcome, right? And that buys into the idea that it's the journey that we're on that matters so much more than a destination, which is absolutely true. It's a journey that fulfills us and makes us who we are. It's our learning mechanism, right? One of the greatest advice I ever got, Pat, whatever it is you decide to focus on, whatever it is you decide to do, every single day, never miss a day. At least one step in that direction. I said, what about the days I wake up and I feel like crap and I'm just not in, I'm mentally gone? Doesn't matter. You won't perform as good, you won't be as big, you won't make as much progress, you won't be a superstar of the day. You might even fall flat on your face, but if you fall flat on your face, you know what? You'll still have made progress because it's impossible to fall on your face and fall backwards. And like that I can buy into, right? And even on your worst day, if all you do is fall flat on your face and you fall forward, you know what? Yeah, you end the end of the day saying, you know, at least I made progress. Notable progress. Which, I'm not knocking, I'm not yucking on anybody here. Again, I'm just stating facts here. Many of us cannot show progress every single day. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it in a nutshell. Okay? Number one, well, preceding the discussion, accept the responsibility that we have what we deserve based on decisions we've made to get us here. Once you do that, you empower yourself to decisions. So become conscious of the idea that we have the power to choose. We can have whatever it is we want. At least whatever we're meant to have, right? There are some limitations, particularly on the physical side. I can't play NBA basketball, but coincidentally, never wanted to play NBA basketball. As a matter of fact, I never wanted to play any basketball. It worked out pretty good for me. So number one, become conscious of the idea you can choose. Number two, get clear on what you really want. See, here's a cool thing about clarity. So I probably didn't mention this. I should probably mention this. is that the greater clarity you can bring to what it is you want, the quicker you will attract it into your life. The greater clarity you can bring to whatever it is you want, and do not talk in elusive terms, do not talk in vague terms, do not talk in measuring results, talk in what is it do you want. Feel it. Like deep down inside, attach an emotion to it. The greater clarity you can define that, the quicker you will attract it into your lives. This that we do in here, real estate, is a mechanism to achieving it. It's just a way to get us where we want to be. That's all. That's all. It just happens to be one of the, when it comes to producing, just raw cash profit. I know no better mechanism to do it. Me personally, I'm not saying there isn't. Real estate's it. And the future of real estate's pretty wild. We'll talk about that another time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you. As always, I appreciate you staying on. I encourage you to speak up more so we can talk back and forth. I will thank you, Benjamin, for chiming in. That you have mentally set me free, sir. Thank you again. You're very welcome. Mr. Daniels is another great session. I appreciate you guys. The more you share, the more I can cater these to where you got to be. Okay, I can get a feel from you guys, but I need more from you. Thank you, Pat. See you in Phoenix this weekend. Yeah, Nick, I'll be rocking out to Phoenix. I head out Wednesday night. Yeah, if anybody's kicking around, Wednesday night, Thursday, we'll be in Phoenix, ready to crush it. It's gonna be a good time. I'll be there Wednesday, VIP. I'll be there. Gonna co-host a VIP with Mr. Sean. Nick. All right, guys, you're awesome, man. Appreciate you. Peace.